Good morning. Welcome back or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. It's day one of Oak. There's a phrase that's been going through my mind as I create this 21-day yoga journey. And the phrase is, I am an oak. And when I feel that in my body, I move into the deep back of me, the slow, steady, strong structure of me, my parasympathetic nervous system, just that which holds me and that which is. And so, it has a different timing. The back of my body is utterly different than the front of me. The front of me is incredibly busy, and the front of me is, active and moving, and it's much more mobile. Whereas the back of me holds this oakness. And so we're going to be looking at principles of how do we ground, how do we start from the ground up. Years ago, I used to study with a woman called Donna Holman, and one of her students was Somatic. And there was these phrases that they had, and I went looking for them the other day. And the first one is root, the next one is elongate, and then there's rebound, and I'm trying to remember them. So over the next 21 days, I'm going to find the piece of paper and we're going to work on those principles. I've also bought her book, so I'm going to be reading that. So today we root, today we ground, today we find that which we push off to land or to move or to gesture from. So welcome. So those of you who are beginning, welcome. Those of you who've been here all along, welcome. Those of you who pop in every once in a while, welcome. So come, lie on your mat. We'll begin by just finding the ground beneath us. Come. So just landing in, find the sense of your feet on the floor. Get the feeling of, in this moment as you land, the feeling of the back of your body. And then ever so gently, just rock your pelvis, but not in any exact kind of way. It's more like rock, find your sacrum on the floor. Get a sense of, in this moment, if I just wiggle my pelvis, if I rock my pelvis, I can feel the boniness of my sacrum on the floor. And I'm doing rocking left to right, I'm rocking up to down, and I'm doing little curves as well. I have these little swoops and curves that are happening within the movement of my sacrum. Nice. And then the area between your shoulder blades. So see if you can move down into the floor. It's like, how would you snuggle the deep of that area between your shoulder blades down into the floor? And so as I move, I'm just connecting. I'm just going, there's the floor. And then land. Just feel, there's the floor through the back of my torso. And then move your feet on the floor. So rock your feet, baby toe side, big toe side, but don't be too precise about it. Kind of just discover the floor beneath your feet. Can all of your toes feel the floor? Can you transfer weight into all of your toes? Can you feel your heels on the floor? Can you massage your heels into the floor? Can you travel along the blades of the sides of your feet? And then just pause back to center, and then just lifting the front of your feet off the floor, squeeze your toes, and then push the ball of your feet into the floor with your toes lifted. Squeeze your toes down like you're making a fist out of your toes, and then open your toes wide and push the ball of your foot into the floor. Squeeze your toes, and then push the ball of your foot into the floor. So as you squeeze your toes, notice your torso, and as you push the ball of your foot into the floor, feel what happens in your body. So squeeze your toes, and then push the ball of your foot into the floor. So even though I'm not organizing it, I'm doing an ever so slight pelvic tilt, because when I push into the floor, it travels up into my spine. It's that sense of the rebound, that ground. Nice. Cool. Pause. Reach your arms out to the sides. And again, just find that area between your shoulder blades and really deeply feel the floor. So beneath your feet, beneath your sacrum, beneath the area between your shoulder blades. And then the back of your head. Just gently rock your head or tuck your chin. And how would you draw a circle around the back of your head? And not necessarily a very organized one, more like travel. Maybe like write your name at the back of your head, kind of just feel the different landscapes of the back of your head. I grew up in an incredibly rocky place. It was called the rough place of the rough place, in the Firbucha Gareth. And so I just threw myself around the place a lot. So I have all these dinks in the back of my head. And when I do this, I can feel them. I'm like, oh, wow, there's a lot of bumps on the back of my head. Nice. And then tuck your chin in and then just feel contact of your feet, contact of your sacrum, contact of the area between your shoulder blades, contact of your head, the back of your arms, your forearms, the backs of your knuckles. Super. Drop both knees down to the right, and back up to center, and drop both knees down to the left, back to center. And we're just rolling the weight of us through the back of the hips to center, and then down to the other side to center. And as you travel, as you feel, notice your groins, your belly. And then see, so if you were going at normal pace, go twice as slow. So slow it down as you move down towards the right, and slow it down as you move back up from the right. So it's really, really slow. And you should feel, for me, traveling down is pretty smooth, but coming back up, I have all these strange moments of wobbliness within the movement. So slow the movement down as you travel down towards the right, feeling the weight travel into the right hip. Come back up really slowly to center, and then down towards the left. And then really slowly coming back up to center. Nice. Cool. Squeeze your two knees up towards you. Wrap your arms around your knees and just pause. So now the experience of the weight of the back of our body has changed. So now no longer is the sacrum on the floor. No longer are our feet on the floor, but now our mid back is really solid and the lower back is quite solid on the floor. Not the pelvis. The pelvis is rounded up and off, but the lower back itself, the lumbar, is really steady on the floor. And then just roll. So now as you roll, feel the landscape of the back of your body. So can you feel your shoulder blades? So really notice. Can you feel the kind of the snap of your shoulder blades as they roll on your rib cage? Or kind of, I have a very particular feeling of ribs and shoulder blades as I roll. I can feel the back of my head rolling on the floor. I can feel the back of my spine as I travel from rib cage to rib cage. I can feel the posterior, the wings of the iliac, the crests of my ilium. So I can feel the back of my pelvic bones, but the very high wings. It's like if you imagine that usually where we're focusing on is the lobe of the ear. We're quite low usually when we think of pelvis, whereas now we're up at the top of the ear of the pelvis. So the high lobes or crests of the pelvis are now meeting the floor as you rock from side to side. Nice. Elbows on the floor. Just roll like there's a clock on the back of your pelvis. And again, how do we really meet the floor? So slow this down. Slow it down to half of what you usually do. Feel the floor. This idea of like using the floor as the companion to your yoga, and then roll in the other direction. It's your sturdy friend in yoga. It's that which we push off, that we land on, that we surrender to. It's the relationship that we're having between us and the floor that creates yoga. Nice. Stretch your legs up towards the ceiling. And you can have your arms long beside you, or you can rest your arms overhead. And, for some, extending your legs up first thing in the morning is not very easy. For some, it is. So really be where you need to be. So bend your knees as much as you need to be, or straighten your legs as much as you like. If you find that bending your knees is more supportive of the sensations that you're feeling, then maybe you're holding on to the backs of your legs. And just pause and breathe and feel the back of your body on the floor. Nice. And then slightly bend your knees and let your legs sway. And it's just a very small movement. So let your legs be a tree, swaying in the wind. And the roots of the tree are down into the pelvis, down into the lower back. And so what's amazing is that when we stand, same as the way our pelvis is doing now, it's continuously in motion. Our feet, they're continuously gripping and in connection to the floor. So just sway your legs from side to side and just notice how much movement happens through the back of your body. Make the movement smaller so it's an even smaller sway. Even smaller. Really, the smaller the sway gets, the harder it gets for me. Interesting. Nice. Come to stillness and notice how there's never true stillness. There is always movement. Life is motion. Every atom in your body, every cell that holds all those atoms and molecules, every piece of fluid, every intercellular, extracellular, blood cell, everything is in motion right now. It's like unbelievable, the movement that's happening. And just can you feel ever so slightly that there is an inherent movement to your legs as they suspend themselves upwards. Nice. Bend your knees, bring your arms back to your sides, roll over. So come to your hands and knees. And so your palms are on the floor and try and lift your fingertips off the floor. And then grab the floor with your fingers and try and lift your first knuckle in your palm off the floor. So it's like I'm doing the cat pose with my hands. So arching your hands and then rounding your hands. So arching is lifting your fingers and your thumbs off the floor. And then rounding is pushing your fingertips down and letting your first knuckle of your palm slightly bow up off the floor. Lift your fingers, bow, lift your fingers, bow, and just feel. Nice. And then straighten your arms deeply. Lift through the chest. Tuck your toes under. And just have a sense that your toes are active and alive on the floor. Your hands are active and alive on the floor. And you're creating length from the top of your head all the way down into your sacrum. Nice. Lift your knees. Pull back into your downward dog. So again, pushing down into your hands. Find your ground. Pull back into your heels. Really deepen the ground of your feet. So for me to deepen my ground, I always feel like I want to spread my toes more, and I lift my heels and then I drop my heels. Nice. I lift my heels and then I drop my heels. One more time. Lift your heels, drop your heels. How would you elongate your spine here? So find your ground. So push into the floor, elongate from the floor, and then have that sense of the rebound. How would you, it's like I kind of throw my weight down into my hands and feet, and suddenly my pelvis begins to rise long and away from my hands and feet. And then deeply breathe into this. Nice. Walk all the way forward. Pause. So bend your knees enough that your belly is on your thighs. If you want, you can rest your elbows on your knees here. It is early in the morning for some of you, and forward bends are trickier in the morning. Or keep your hands where they are, drop your head down. So feel your feet. Lift your toes, drop your toes. Lift your toes, drop your toes. And maybe lift your heels. Lift your toes. Lift your heels. Lift your toes. Nice. Elbows to your knees. Hands to your knees. Rise all the way up to stand. Nice. How cool. So, my camera. I think I don't have a head. Okay. Anyways, that's okay. It's just my feet that are important today. So lift through your heels and let your heels just float off the floor. So as soon as I do that, my feet are rolling outwards towards the baby toe edge of my feet. So I'm going to lift even less. So I'm not rolling outwards. I'm trying to create stability. Nice. Drop your heels down. Lift your heels. If you feel them wobbling off already, then make the movements smaller. So just lift and drop your heels. Trying to have a sense that you can stay center on your feet. If you find that you rise up and suddenly you do this, this one where you're rolling outwards to come down, then you're going too far. So really find where is the stability of your feet, and then maybe try and rise a little bit more from a place of stability. How do you create stability? So for me, I have to engage my big toes more. Like when I start to feel the inner line of my feet and the inner line of my legs, suddenly I'm like, oh, there's the stability of my feet. Nice. When you drop your heels down, lift your toes, lift your heels. Drop your heels down, lift your toes. And so just rock on your feet. How high can you lift the front of your feet? Can your hands relax? Can your face relax? Nice. And then just lift and drop your toes. So close your eyes as you lift and just only your toes. And can you feel your big toes? The two big toes as they lift and drop. Can you then feel your second toes? Third, fourth, and baby toe. This is where it gets a bit blurry for a lot of us. We tend not to have as much individuation of toes. Third, fourth, and fifth toe. So just feel, can you grab the floor or push a bit into the ones that you can't feel? Maybe just feel, how would you give a bit of energy into the toes you can't really feel? Nice. So come stand forward to the front of your mat. Notice your feet. Really close your eyes. Feel the floor beneath you. Bend your knees a little bit. Feel that there's a down movement in your body. And then push down into the floor. Lengthen through your legs. Tuck your tailbone a little bit. So have a sense of, rather than your bums pushing back or your hips leaning forward, you're just ever so slightly flattening into the lower back. You're widening the lower back. Rise through the spine, up into the top of your head, and then engage down into your arms. So this classically is called the mountain pose in yoga. So we're just going to really embody that sense of length. Push down into your feet, feeling all of them. Feel your legs, pelvis, spine. Reach down into your arms and then reach wide into your arms and bring your arms straight up towards the ceiling. So now, you can see that. Yes, I think you can. So find that feet, legs, pelvis, spine, and get really tall. So there is inherent movement here as well. So even though you're standing still, there is movement. So do you lean more into your heels at the moment, or do you lean more into your toes? Do you stand more on one foot than the other? Can you get taller by using the floor and rebounding down into the floor, extending up into your fingertips? Get taller. Nice. Bring your palms together. Sit your bum down into chair pose. So now we have that sense of keep that length through the spine, sitting your bum down like you're trying to find a chair, and then pause there. Find your feet. Feel your legs. Notice where your pelvis is. Rise through your spine, up through the top of your head, and then engage your arms. Find your breath. Nice. Rolling forward, bring your hands down, step back into your downward dog. Find that engagement again. So find your hands and your feet, push them down into the floor, elongate through your arms and legs, and then have that sense of rebound. How do you send a sense of an impulse down into the floor to support the lengthening of your spine, the rising of your pelvis, the reaching of your legs? So we root to rise. We find the floor and rebound. The sense of this amazing feeling of this is, the floor is who we're playing with as such. The floor is who we're dancing with here. How do you meet the floor? Deepen into the floor. Nice. Drop your knees down. Bring your knees wide. Come rest into a child's pose. So, I don't know if it'll be always, but today we're going to end in child's pose. Just find your breath. Notice your feet. Mine feel really warm and connected. Feel the floor. So now if your head is down or if your head is on your hands, you feel the contact. Feel the back of your body. I am an oak. It sings to my soul that. It really moves me into this very steady, very vast, very able place. I am an oak. I am an oak. Feel it in your body. Time changes when I'm an oak. It's like I play this really long game of steadiness. My eyes are on the horizon. I have this vast sense of space and time. But on that note, we can't stay in child's pose forever. Great. So just coming out, moving whatever way you do, finding your way to sit. Finding the vastness of time in child's pose and staying there forever. Thank you so much for being with me. I'm really looking forward to the adventure of Oak. It's returning me to the roots of my yoga, to why I move and why I want to connect. And so see you all tomorrow. Some of you will be here live, some of you will come randomly at different stages. And so, yeah, tell me how you're getting on. How is it to be an oak for you? So, ciao, slán.